In last chapter we set up the project, so clean folders, empty scene and zero excuses. Now it's time to build something on it, something that actually moves. I'm Mark, this is Game Dev Journey and this is chapter 2. Let's build the player. Okay, now we are in the editor and as you can see we have this level, not the level we created in the last chapter. Because in reality we saved this level, okay, so the level generated by the engine. So to create another level in this case, go in File, New Level, okay, Basic, so the same thing of the last chapter, but now with this untitled, go in File and choose Save Current Level, okay? So not level test, I will call it start level, okay? And so if you go in content drawer and in maps, as you can see there is start level, so with double click you are in, okay? And so now we have fixed this problem. So we want to build our player. Now how to do this? Basically we need the basic blueprint, okay? So the blueprint of our player. To do this, go in our content, blueprints, in our folder, and we must create our blueprint class, the first blueprint class of this series. And for this one I choose character, okay? So click on character and bp underscore, I will call it character, okay? Simple as that. Double click on it and we have this class, okay? So it's a child of this parent class that is character. Now, why choose character? Because character has already some important variables and also components. So it's more easy, okay, to create your player. As you can see, there is already a character movement component that is very useful, and also a capture component that is important for the collision part. Arrow component for our forward vector, so basically the right direction of our character, and also the mesh, the character mesh. Now I want to add some things, okay, in it. So click add, and in this case I want the camera, okay, so basically our camera, and also a spring arm. But we want that camera is a child of spring arm. So drop here to delete, okay, it is already parent relation. And so click on camera and drop here, okay? So now it's a child of spring arm. And spring arm is useful because when you modify the target arm length, you modify also the distance from the camera to the player, okay? So as you can see, if I manipulate this, okay, the camera go around. We want, okay, that the camera is up. To do this, simply take our spring arm and rotate. So click on our spring arm, use rotate or click this icon here, also E if you want, the E key, and rotate by 90 degrees, also here, if you want, also here. So with this, okay, we have our top camera, and when we modify this target arm length, as you can see, it's more upper or down. So I want to choose 1000 for this, and so as you can see, it's very up, but it's not a problem, okay? Now the last thing to add is a mesh, a static mesh. Why this? Because for now we don't want to create a character mesh, a complex mesh. We want only a placeholder, okay? So a static mesh that is basically here, some part. Okay. Static mesh is a child of our capsule component, okay, not of the spring arm. So take our static mesh and move it, okay, so use this to reset. Okay, and now we have it. I want to choose the mesh for the static mesh, and it's maybe a easy cylinder, okay, something like that. Now maybe we can modify it a little bit, so scale it, okay, and I want to move it to -40, okay, something like that. For the material, okay, I want to choose maybe a basic material. Let's see what we can get. Okay, here it is, basic asset 03. Okay, so it's green, it's easy to see it, not a problem. Okay, so choose it and now compile and save. So now we have our BP character, and as you can see, there is a viewport and there is an event graph. In the viewport you see, okay, your definitive, okay, your visual representation of the player, and the event graph you see, okay, your blueprints, so basically your actions, your code. Now before doing our code, our blueprints, we must set up our input. So when you press a key, something happens. Okay, to do this, go in content drawer, in content, and we want to create another folder that is called, of course, input. And now with a double click we can create our input mapping context. Okay, so input mapping context IMC, okay, maybe default for now. So what is this input mapping context? Now an input mapping context is like a catalog, a library of some input actions. Okay, so some inputs. And so basically in your input mapping context you assign a key to an action. Okay, so maybe the action is drop something, or maybe pick something, or place, and so you basically assign a key to that action. I hope it's clear. Okay, so we need our actions. Okay, so create another folder, I will call it actions, and in this folder we can create our first input action. So search for action, input action, yeah, and of course is called IA underscore, I would call it maybe movement. Okay, so movement. And so when we open this IA movement, okay, as you can see there is a description and also the action. This is the important part. So as you can see there is value type. Now for default there is a bool type, so or true or false. Now we want a axis 2D vector. Okay, so in this way we can use epsilon, okay, and also the x. But we can use the same axis, and if the value is positive we use a key, if the value is negative we use another key. Okay, so for this reason we use axis 2D. Now save always, I recommend it, and go in input mapping context, and here choose a mapping. Now our mapping is called IA movement, sorry, and for this click on this and choose your key. So I press simply W. Okay, so I want to add another 3 because it's W S A D. Okay, so now here in W I want to choose for our modifiers, so we want to modify our axis value, we want to use Swizzle input axis values. Okay, so basically we don't want to use X, but in this case we want to use epsilon, so the axis value is the same but we use another axis. Okay, so not X, epsilon. As you can see the order is epsilon, X and zeta. Okay, for W is like that. For S is another thing, is the same modifier, so Swizzle input axis value, but we want the negative. Okay, so when it's positive W, when it's negative S. Okay, so negate. And in A we want only negate because we don't want to use another axis, we want to use only our X, so negate. And the last one is D, that can be well as it is. Okay, so let's save. And now to use this IMC, okay, we want to go in edit, project settings, and if you go in our enhanced input we can set up our default mapping context. Okay, so add an element, and this element is our IMC default. So now you can call this action from your blueprints. So if you go now in our BP character, as you can see we can click the right click of the mouse, okay, with one click, and search for IA movement, and yeah, we have it, okay? Now we want to add an input movement, okay? So add movement input, yeah, something like that. Because we want to set up our movement. So basically, when the action value, as you can see here, maybe we can, okay, so it's more organized. We take our action value here, convert vector 2D structure to vector, okay, it's important. And now with Alt and left click, we can also split it with the right click of the mouse. And now we can use the X for the first one and the epsilon for the other one, okay? So the X go here and the epsilon go here. So basically, when the X is positive, affect, okay, this movement input. When the epsilon is positive, this add movement input, and the same for the negative, okay, values. Okay, so the scale value now is set. Maybe also we can colligate this trigger, okay, and also this one. But now that we have our scale value, we want also to choose our world direction. So basically the X of the world and the epsilon of the world. So basically here I want to choose 1 for the epsilon and also here 1 for the X. I know it's kind of strange, but work, I promise. Okay, so compile now and save. So now before testing, the last thing to do is to go in our viewport, spring arm, and we want to check in inherit, camera settings, inherit, pitch, yaw, and roll, all disabled, okay? This is important for the last mechanics that we will do now, okay, in this episode. So now to test it, go in project settings and also here, and here in map modes, we want to set up our default pawn class. Why this? Because otherwise it spawn this default pawn and we don't have this default pawn, okay? We have set our BP character. So basically we want to create a new game mode. Blueprints go very well, and for now let's leave this new game mode name. And for default pawn class we want to choose our BP character, okay? So now when you go in start level and press play, okay, as you can see we have our player, and if you press W, S, A and D you can move in the world. Now the last mechanic that we want to create today is that when you move your mouse, okay, your player change, okay, direction, so basically rotate. So to do this, go in the event graph of BP character and you want to use this little node here. Now, event tick is very useful, but it's also very inefficient, okay? Because it runs every single frame, okay? So please use it with a lot of caution, okay? Use only the essential things here. Now, so in the event tick, we want to simply set the rotation of our actor. So I want to search for set rotation, set actor rotation, okay? So the actor, of course, is our BP character. And now for the new rotation, we want to get player controller, okay? So basically the controller of our player. It's important to search for the player, okay, section. So search for it, game player, okay, and search for get player controller. Okay. Also, get it result under cursor by channel. It's very a long name. Trace channel visibility. Okay, it's everything okay. And now you want to break this hit. So basically, this is the hit of our cursor in the world. So break it. Context sensitive. Break it result. And now we want to take find look at rotation. Okay. And so the start point is the point, the location of our character. So I want to search for a get actor location, okay? Get actor location. So basically the position of our player is the start, and the location of our cursor is the target, okay? And with this, split it because we want to use only the yaw, otherwise it can flip a little bit. Okay, so use the yaw and combine here. Now compile, save, and when you press play, now as you can see, I move and nothing happens. In reality, something is happening, okay? But you don't see it. So rotate, only for now, by minus 90 degree, your incredible mesh. And now, if you press, as you can see, it rotates. And so guys, this is it. We have it. We have created this easy blueprint for our player, and for now can be really a great, okay, start for our incredible series. So guys, thank you for watching. If you have some problems, if you need some help, please comment below and I will try my best to help you. And also in the next episode we will create the shooting part of our top-down shooter in Unreal Engine 5, so be sure to subscribe and also drop a like if you want. Thank you for watching again, and bye bye guys, to the next time.